Good morning, beloveds. So I've been up since about 10 minutes to 6 this morning. It is Black Friday, and I have to go to the mortgage paying job, and Tom went to help out at the Renaissance Festival. So I got up to help him get out of the house and do what he needed to do. And he will do the same for me tomorrow, where he will get up and throw me out of the house to go work at the Renaissance Festival, and then he will go to the mortgage paying job. So, but I've also gotten made the run out to take care of my friend's cats, who we are cat sitting while she is with family for Thanksgiving. And so I'm just like, okay. And my mortgage paying job is having a blowout sale today, so I don't know what my day's going to look like. It'll be interesting. And if you read the title to what today is, I'm just like, well, of course it's the day after Thanksgiving. So let's see what I believe it's Craig Carter has to say today. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It is November 25th. Our title is Treating Overweight. The first quote is, "Put on the new person, which after God is created in righteousness." That is from Ephesians 4:24. The second quote is, "A normally minded person will eat normally." That's the Science of Mind 253. If you ask, is there a solution for a weight problem? Consider that perhaps you have a belief problem. Unless there is clear medical evidence of glandular or other physical cause, the obesity is there by invitation. You ask for it. But just to say, stop eating so much, does not bring a simple cure. The mental cause behind the condition must be addressed. Some frustration, fear, or concern exists, and you are indicating it through eating too much or eating unwisely. While this condition may be helped by more sensible habits of eating and proper exercise, a very important step in overcoming it is to clear one's thinking of wrong beliefs that may be causing the problem. Say, I accept the healing of whatever mental or physical cause may be behind this condition of overweight. There can be no such cause in divine truth, which is the reality of my life. Every cell of my body is God's substance, and the metabolism of my body is the perfect reflection of the divine idea of wholeness. I am made in the image and likeness of God, whole and complete and perfect. I now receive healing of any personality trait of sensitivity, rejection, or insecurity, or any other thing that may be the hidden cause of my overweight. My mind and heart are now open to divine guidance and to the spiritual healing of my attitudes and my emotions. Thank you, Spirit, for the perfection and order that now manifests through my physical being. Craig Carter. Well, that was gently done. Because weight is a sensitive subject. It's a very sensitive subject. And it can come from any number of conditions. And he did say medically, is there a glandular issue? So Craig is recognizing that, it's not just about. And what I liked, I think the best is that he said, it's not so simple as just to say eat less or eat better. What you hear both. He's reminding us that there is a belief in there, and it's not necessarily there are any number of kind of beliefs that can lead to that, and honestly, it can be a condition. It can be a combination of beliefs. There could be an underlying medical issue, and then on top of that, you can have messy beliefs. If you look at the science of the way we eat, carbs do mimic serotonin, which is one of our feel-good hormones. And so sometimes if you find yourself craving carbs, especially simple carbs, your serotonin could be a little low. Well, what do you need to do to boost your serotonin? And there are a number of things that you can do, up to and including, believe it or not, prayer, meditation, treatment, because all of those do help you feel better. I mean, there's actual science behind it. And so, and the good thing is that when you do treatment can help both the medical and just the general run of the mill. I've got this belief in the back of my head that I didn't know that I had, that, hey, I really need to look at. And so sometimes, actually most times, it would be helpful to start. Here's where I'm going to recommend journaling, to journal some of those beliefs. Do we have beliefs about our body? Do we have beliefs about food? Do we have beliefs? One of the things that I'll remind you is that in this culture, we almost always reward ourselves with food. That's not exactly healthy. Especially since the kind of things that we tend to reward ourselves with tend to be high in sugar. So, right there. And when I say journaling, I know I'm surrounded by wonderful writers. And yes, I can write, but do I enjoy it? No. But there are these things called vlogs. So, which is a video. So if you're much more likely to do that, then I suggest, creating a video for yourself and talk about your beliefs and talk about that, and then go back and look at those things, or maybe just, jot a short list out of, of your interactions and beliefs around food in your body and what have you. And, see if you can pinpoint some of those ideas about food, or that could be, as Craig says, wrong beliefs, false beliefs. See if you can pinpoint those and get to the root cause of those, dig those up by the roots, and then see if that doesn't help. Because what the Ernest Holmes quote said is, a normal person is going to eat normally. How many normal people do you know? I mean, I don't know that many. But you get the idea, of a healthy. When we take care of our mind, then we make better choices. That's one of the reasons why we talk about spiritual practice, why we talk about, daily treatment and daily meditation, whatever the spiritual practices look like for you. Because they do go a long way to helping to reset that mind and that spirit and the, all of that. And so, and this works for not just overweight. It's just, it's interesting that for us, this falls the day after Thanksgiving. And I'm sure some years it falls on Thanksgiving. So, I'm always wary of people talking about overweight, because so often it can get into shaming. And I like that he doesn't do that. He says, look, it could be a medical problem. It could be a glandular problem. Or maybe we have this belief that we are not even aware that we have. You've heard of eating your feelings. You've heard of stuffing your feelings. So maybe we have this belief that it's high time we go back and take a look at, because it's not serving us. So there we go. Or sometimes we're just menopausal women. I know. All right. So, unless there is clear medical evidence or a glandular of glandular or other physical cause, it is there by obesity. It is there by invitation. And he says you ask for it. Okay. But then he says, but just to say stop eating so much does not bring a simple cure. All right. So he understands this. I was reading somebody who was talking about this eat less, move more, and how that the diet industry makes so much money off of telling us that we're not the standard of beauty. Well, here's the thing. Maybe we aren't our ideal weights, but we're still beautiful. what it comes down to is, are you comfortable in your body? And if you're not comfortable in your body, what do you need to do about it? And Craig says, and he has this beautiful treatment, I accept the healing of whatever mental and physical cause may be behind this condition of overweight. All right. It doesn't get us out of the work that we need to do to figure out what those feelings are. And honestly, most of us have clues. Most of us have clues. But it does start the process of saying, I accept the healing of whatever mental or physical. And I would say mental and physical. It can be both. It can absolutely be both that may be behind this. There can be no such cause in divine truth. And that, I think, is what we want to remember. The causes for, that's when you go back and look at the blueprint, God's idea of you, that's not in there. But here we are, and what do we do about it? All right. The cause is not in the divine truth. The effects are in the material reality, but the cause is not in the divine truth. So go back to the divine truth. Go back to the divine truth of you. And remember that there is multiplicity in the unity. There is not conformity. So all bodies are going to look different. If you are comfortable and move well, then tell the religious, cultural, societal idea of what the perfect body is to stuff it. All right? And that is one of the things that I have fully said, because I have looked at the charts of what I'm supposed to weigh, and I know where I'm comfortable. All right? And there's at least a 30-pound difference between what they say I should weigh and where I move well. Okay? So, the divine truth of you is perfect, whole, and complete. What society says, that can take a short walk off of take a long walk off of a short pier. Because society, all right, you know what that means. That's me trying not to say bad words. Okay. The standards of beauty for women are ridiculous, and the standards for beauty of men are ridiculous. And I'm okay with that. So I would say the mission today, should we choose to accept it, I'm going to go back to that first line in his treatment. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to accept the healing of whatever mental and or physical cause may be behind our condition of physical form. All right? Whatever that looks like. Let's go back to the divine truth of ourselves. And as I said, society, they can take a long walk off of their idea of beauty can take a long walk off of a short pier. Okay, so that is the mission today. The other suggestion that I give you every day, it's a spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. And sometimes it is taking a hard look at yourself in the mirror, naked, and going and going, finding the parts of yourself that you really do love and that you really do like, and finding the parts of yourself that you're okay with, but you understand that they could use a little bit of work. I do meet with a trainer. I do exercise. And I do look at myself in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm well shaped. Do I weigh a little bit more than I should? Yes, but I'm well shaped. And the better I move, the less I worry about what the scale says. All right. And yeah, menopause is a physical cause. It is a glandular and physical cause. So I am aware. All right. So loving, kind, compassionate, thing for yourself. And I know standing in front of the mirror, looking at yourself naked can be a hard thing to do, but when you can do it with love, kindness, and compassion, that's the first step on to making changes that you want to make. Notice I said changes that you want to make, because society, they're not in the mirror with you. You get to love who you are. You get to love what you look like. And you get to change it if you want to. But you don't have to. That is what loving, kind, compassionate acts mean to yourself. All right? Being okay with who you see in the mirror. That's the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do. And you can still want to change if you want to. All right. Ooh, you are nice and warm from laying on that heating pad. Especially since one of the things that I'm an advocate for is to eat dessert first. You know, that's one of the reasons why when I saw what today's treatment was, I was like, okay, we're going to talk about being overweight, you know, and I'm an advocate for eating dessert first. I'm an advocate for making healthy choices as well. But don't deny yourself just because society has told you that you are not their idea. All right? It is not loving. It is not kind. It is not compassionate for yourself. Sometimes telling society to stuff it is. But it also looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like calling a friend and having a meeting for, coffee or tea or hot chocolate. Big believer in hot chocolate. And sometimes it looks like taking a day off and just doing nothing. Even with all the stuff in your house sitting there staring at you. Fair's almost over. I'll get to it. I know. So you will never look in the eyes of someone that God does not love, especially when you look in the mirror. You are your best test subject on loving, kind, and compassionate. So practice on yourself. All right? Practice on yourself. Take that deep breath before you speak. Take that deep breath before you speak to yourself. Sometimes, frequently, it's when I start listening to my self-talk that sends me screaming into therapy. It's like, wait, oh, no, this is not acceptable. All right? So, you will never talk to anybody else as much as you talk to yourself. So, listen to what you're talking to yourself about. All right. I've just completely lost the thread of this. Loving, kind, compassion, practice on yourself. Create that habit, create that default setting, create that first response so that no matter what happens, when you meet somebody, including yourself, who needs a little extra today, you got a bank of it. You got a bank of it. You are connected to the source of your own being, which is an infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. All right. I also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like. We tried to go to the park yesterday and got rained on. I didn't even get a mile in. But it was fun. It was fun to get wet. And because we forgot our hats, but I wasn't wearing glasses, it wasn't such a trauma. So that was great. I enjoyed not having glasses and, kind of dancing in the rain. It was fun. So engage your mind and your body somehow. Unless today's your day of rest. I've rested too much this week, but I still am going to keep my Friday day of rest. Then drink plenty of water, especially like I sent Tom out to the fair and I sent him with extra water so that hopefully he will drink plenty and hopefully it won't be too cold. Because that's the other thing. When it's cold and you don't want to drink as much water, yeah. So drink plenty of water and get early in your day bright light. I got up early and turned on some bright light so that I could get myself going. And then listen to the words of Ernest Holmes. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. Because heaven is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. It is something that once we learn how to create it for ourselves, nobody can take away from us. Nobody can take it away from us. And that is just really cool. But also as we learn to create it for ourselves, we learn to create heaven where we are. So heaven isn't, I say heaven isn't a place. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. But that means that you can create it any place. And when you learn how to create it, other people learn how to create it. And then the world just gets really amazing. So, all right. That's where we are. That's where we are at. I don't know what I was about to say. Okay. So I really don't know what I was about to say. But take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. And I would encourage you to go look in the mirror and praise that good too. Okay? Especially since the subject matter today was kind of sensitive. All right. Here's where I do the social media part. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Reverend on the social medias that I am on. I encourage you to check out the social medias. I snagged a few really amazing things, so hopefully you'll see some of those on the various social medias. And I share it to both the running Reverend and the Creative Life. What I try and do is put it on Instagram, because then Instagram shares it to Facebook. Ugh, not the other way around. So, all right. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, including we're doing gratitude, what used to be our our Thanksgiving Eve, we're moving it to the Sunday after service. So that, if you want that, and if you're not in the area, you can participate by Zoom. Email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. The hot links are hot. They will tell you, they will take you right to where you want to know, like if you want that Zoom link. All right. I think that's all my stuff. So here's where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, an amazing day, a wonder-filled day. It is Black Friday. So whatever that means to you, for me, nothing. I do not shop on Black Friday. I've worked retail for too long and I'm not willing to, but may you have an amazing shopping day if that is what you are doing, an economical day, a great finds day, a taking care of business day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. All right. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark. You are a godling. You are a bright light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. So, you are also that divine spark in whom God is well pleased and well represented. All right. People always meet the God of your understanding when they meet you. That's one of the things that we want to look at. Okay. I think the cat wants his couch back, so I'm going to move on from here. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. Since it's the final weekend of fair, I will do this tomorrow night, not at 9 a.m., but around 9 p.m. And then Sunday should look as usual. All right. So I think I've said what I've needed to say. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.